AITA for not giving a cupcake to a child who was not originally on the guest list.
I, 24F, recently returned to my hometown after being away for college and work. My grandma often hosts potluck party where her 3 kids and their families can hang out. I am a pretty good baker, and the couple of times I brought baked goods over, I got lots of compliments, especially from the kids. For the potluck we had last week, I had promised to make a cupcake for each and every kid. 8 kids, all under 9. The adults would get a 2-pound cake to be shared. I elaborately decorated the cupcakes and made sure I made enough. I didn't have the energy to make extras. On the day of the party, one of my cousins brought her boyfriend and his kid Gina, 7F, over unannounced. Gina saw the cupcakes each kid got and wanted one, too. So my cousin brought her to me to ask for a cupcake. I apologized and told them that all the cupcakes were spoken for and that she was welcome to have a slice of the 2-pound cake as it was the same flavor. Gina said she wanted the pretty cupcake. My cousin then said I should just give her one because she was sure at least one of the kids would not show up. Again, I refused, saying that I promised all the kids a cupcake and would feel awful if anyone had to miss out on the promised cupcake. My cousin then walked away with Gina. She was right though, as one of our cousin's girl, Amy, 8F, was sick and couldn't come. However, her dad and older brother did, and the brother asked if he could take the cupcake back home to Amy. And I said yes. My cousin and Gina were in the kitchen when I brought the cupcake inside to pack it up for the Amy. When they saw me packing the cake, they asked about it, and I said it was for Amy, who was sick. Pictures from the party were recently posted. Many parents posted pictures of their kids with my cupcake. My cousin sent me a message telling me that Gina was really upset that Amy, who wasn't even at the party, got a cupcake while she didn't. She said I was off for hurting a little girl's feeling. I think I did the right thing giving the cupcake to Amy, as I did promise her one. Still, Gina was right there at the party. AITA? All the cupcakes were spoken for. Your cousin was essentially asking you to punish Amy for being sick by giving her cupcake to Gina. Instead, Gina was an add-on, and as such she was welcome to enjoy the cake, but not to steal a cupcake that was promised to and designated for someone else. NTA. Gina needs to learn that just because you want something doesn't mean you will get it. Your cousin is teaching her stepdaughter to be entitled. Good on you for saving the sick Amy a promised cupcake. I'm sure it made her day, night. NTA. I think sending the cupcake to the sick child who was promised one was the right move. She already was missing out on the party, which Gina was able to enjoy, and the cupcake was made specifically for her. I think your cousin demanding a cupcake for Gina before he even knew whether or not there would be no shows was pretty entitled. Cousin showed up unannounced with her boyfriend's child, who understandably was not on your radar. As a potential guest, she should have asked first. The non-asshole is of course the child, who probably did feel left out not getting a cupcake. But perhaps the adults could have collectively come up with some other special thing for her. In addition to a piece of the cake, a special drink, handmade crown, whatever.
NTA, you promised the cupcake to Amy. Your cousin's boyfriend's kid was not part of the original agreement. There was cake, so it's not like you made the kid have nothing while everyone else got a treat.
My vote was NAH. Until your cousin decided to be the arbitrator of justice and cupcakes. Your cupcakes were promised already and you didn't know Gina was coming. Your cousin should have dealt with it in a much more adult fashion. That's life. NTA. It sounds like that when Gina asked. You weren't yet aware that Amy was sick. Gina's mom sounds like a piece of work. Her posting and complaining one is absurd. Plus, Her stalking away before you could cut a piece of sheet cake and make a special, square cupcake. Just for Gina. She's the only one who gets the square cupcake. Cousin stalking away kept you from being as nice to Gina as you wanted to be. NTA. NTA. You can't bring extra people without notice and expect them to get preferential treatment. No judgment, but I think the way you viewed the situation set the scene. Personally, if I was in that position, I would know how many kids were coming and would need to do extras anyway. I wouldn't view it as making each kid an individual cake. I would be bringing a supply of cakes to a gathering. Shit happens and kids are kids. Cupcakes get dropped, damaged, stolen, extra guests, fought over, whatever, so I'd have a contingency of extras. I would have given the little girl the cake as she was there at the party and make more cakes to drop off to the sick girl. Honestly wondering what your grandma thinks of this situation. You kinda made that little girl feel less than. Did you check numbers with grandma before baking? Was she unannounced or just you hadn't been informed? NTA. I don't know where all of these people are coming from saying you are wrong to not have made extra cupcakes. I bake a lot and I've made personalized things. I don't make extras. This wasn't a kids' party where a sibling might have come along. This was a particular party with guests that were accounted for. The unexpected guest could have had cake. Would I have felt bad? Yes, but that wouldn't change how many cupcakes there were. I didn't know you were coming, so I don't have an extra. Please enjoy some cake. Perhaps next time I will know you are coming. Tell the cousin to plan ahead next time so others can prepare. NTA. The YTA comments are wild. This person didn't just make regular cupcakes. She made elaborate decorative cupcakes and promised them to specific kids. Then made an additional dessert for everyone else. She's not the asshole for not making extras. That's what the cake was for. Just because you want something doesn't make you entitled to it. I'd point out to your cousin that you had informed everyone ahead of time that you'd be making an elaborate cupcake for each child in attendance. But she never bothered to let you know that she was planning to bring an additional child. If you had been informed, then you would have made her one. NTA. As a baker of many cakes and cookies, it's weird how many people become entitled to having their exact flavor or preference. It's almost like they think you are a bake shop with multiple employees. I usually make extra, but that's just me. I don't know how elaborately they were decorated. You do have to draw the line somewhere about people's preferences versus time and materials. Like, I'm happy doing a gluten-free cake and a flour cake for a party. But I'm not happy when someone bends my ear about how much more special it will be if X or Y was done. I have a pretty basic presentation style. Lol. When you make something that is handmade, people assume that you are using a cake mix and throwing on some pre-made frosting. Lol. Some of the comments over the years have been wild. NTA. They showed up unannounced. And while it's unfortunate that Gina couldn't get a cupcake, you had already made commitments to the kids who were on the original guest list. It was a situation beyond your control. You were just committed to keeping your promises and treating everyone fairly. Your cousin's complaint is unreasonable, considering the circumstances. Good Lord. Kids need to learn how to manage disappointment. Not getting a cupcake will not ruin anyone's life, and her parents' family need to teach that. Sometimes we just miss out and we need to be happy for what we do have. This wasn't intentional. All they are doing is teaching her how to be upset when life doesn't go her way. I get that kids don't have that perspective, so it's important to teach that and also redirect to something else and not fixate on life's disappointments. As a mom, you were right. You made a promise. And you followed through. Any normal parent would explain there weren't enough cupcakes, but you can have cake and it should be over. If my kid was whining about still not getting a cupcake, I would say the easy solution is cake or nothing. They need to get used to minor disappointment without turning it into an issue. This is just so weird. I can't decide if everyone sucks or no one does. I can't imagine a little girl seeing a cupcake and me not at least promising her one next time. Telling her I didn't know she would be here, so I'd make her two next time to make up for it. I also couldn't imagine not at least making some extra cupcakes that were just iced and less elaborate. It seems weird to bring something when there's not enough for everyone and limit it to people under 9. You even made a cake with the same flavor. You also could have given the little girl the sick kid's cupcake and making the sick one a new cupcake when she feels better. I mean, it's a 7-year-old watching everyone else get something special. She didn't cry or throw a tantrum. She was sad and disappointed, and that would have made me feel horrible and do anything to rectify it. NTA. If your cousin couldn't be polite enough to inform you that they'd like to bring an extra 2 people to the party, she deals with the leftovers. And so does her boyfriend's kid. NTA. It's unfortunate that Gina felt left out, but it's her parents' responsibility to explain to her that she isn't entitled to a cupcake. And their attitude that she was entitled to one despite being an unexpected guest is only teaching her, well, entitlement. I was kind of confused about you making only the exact number of required cupcakes until I realized you elaborately decorated them. That's fair. Even just one more cupcake would have taken effort to prepare, and you had no reason to assume there would be extra kids.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.